Hi, this is Aurora from superchargedmath.com. Now, if you're having a hard time with math, you're in the right place because this is where we take the challenging math concepts and we make them easy. So if you want to learn math the easy way, just visit superchargedmath.com. Okay, let's get started.
Hello and welcome to Geometry. This is for grades 4th, 5th, and 6th. Today we're going to be looking at area, and we are going to be covering area of rectangles, parallelograms, triangles, and trapezoids. We have a lot of fun stuff to do during class, so we're going to dive in and get started. If you have your handout for today, it looks like this. We are going to be going step by step through it. Now, if you don't have your handout, remember, you're just going to grab a pencil and a notebook, and we're going to have some fun together and just enjoy learning about math. Now, okay, so if you have your handout, the first thing I want you to do is take a look at this long word. This word, repeat after me, is quadrilateral. Quadrilateral. Quad means four. So it is a 2D shape, so it's flat, not three-dimensional. Okay, it's got 4 straight sides and 4 vertices. Now, do you remember what a vertex is? That's the part that comes together. So for example, if I have a shape like this, you see my ruler? A vertex is that point right there where the 2 sides come together. Okay, so I want you to draw me a quadrilateral. So I need a shape that has 4 straight sides. Can you do that for me? Okay, go ahead and draw me some quadrilaterals. 4 straight sides and 4 of these points, these intersections where the sides come together. Okay, you can draw big ones. You can draw ones like that. Okay, did you give me some quadrilaterals? Excellent. Now we're going to get into this later, but if I were to measure the angles, like we were measuring angles last time with a protractor, and I were to take any one of your quadrilaterals, and I were to measure this angle, that angle, and that angle, and I added them all up, all quadrilaterals have angles. When you add all the interior 4 angles together, they all add up to 360 degrees, which is cool. So this angle plus that one, plus that one, plus that. So if we were to measure them and add them, they would all be 360 degrees. Okay, so that's the main idea of a quadrilateral. It's 2-dimensional. It has 4 sides. Notice how different they all look. Now look at the ones on your page. Do they look all different? So we're going to explore different kinds of quadrilaterals because here I have a rectangle, here I have a tiny rectangle, here I have a square, here I have a trapezoid, here I have a parallelogram. So I have different kinds of quadrilaterals. We're going to explore those. So can you draw me a rectangle? A rectangle is a type of quadrilateral, and it has 4 right angles that are 90 degrees. Okay, so if I were to measure this, and I were to measure this up, this would be at 90 degrees. Here, this one's better. Okay, so this line, it aligns with this line, okay, on a protractor, or you can kind of go to the edge, because this is a 90 degree. This is a square corner. Okay, you got your rectangle drawn? It also has opposite sides that are parallel. Opposite sides. That means this side and this side are parallel, and they're also the equal. So I'm going to put a tick mark. That single tick mark means any side that has a single tick mark is the same shape and the same size. All right, but it's got 2 sets. So this is one set. Here's the other set. 1, 2. Now this is not the same size. Would you agree it's shorter? Okay, so I'm going to put 2 tick marks. And that means this side and this side are the same, but they're different than those. So these 2 are parallel and congruent. They're equal. And then these 2 are the same. How are we doing so far? We're doing okay? Okay, so that's what that means. So the tick marks mean this is the same as that. Okay, and then if you were to have 3, like a shape with a 3rd set, you could do 3 tick marks if you want. We don't usually do more than 3. We start doing other things. Okay. So we had our rectangle. We know what quadrilaterals are.
Now, before we move on to the next example, I just want to share something for parents who see their child as being overwhelmed with math, but they're not quite sure what to do about it. Now, in the video that we're watching right now, your child is learning math in a much more natural way that fits with how they think. And if this is working for them so far, I'd like to invite both you and your child to join me for a free online class that they can learn math like this, just like we're doing in the video. To register for this class at no charge, just click the link below in the descriptions, or it's also in the comments, or you can simply go to getmath.net/class. getmath.net/class. All right, let's continue.
Let's go down to the checkerboard. Okay, area is how much flat space something takes up. What kind of floor do you have right now under your feet? Do you have carpet? Do you have tile? Yeah, and if I were to say, hey, guess what? Let's get you a new floor. You would go to the store and they would say, you'd pick out your floor. Maybe you'd like fuzzy shag white carpet. I don't know, whatever it is. And they'd say, great, how much do you want? And you would say, well, I need 3 feet. And they'd say, that's not the right dimension. So you can't give them in length. They want to know length and width. So they want to know how much space you have on your floor so they can cover it with carpet. So we call that square. It could be square feet, square yards, square inches, square meters, square centimeters. So we call it square because we are going to multiply things together. So watch. Okay, so we have area, which is A, is equal to length times width. All right, so I have a floor here, and these are all tiles. Let's count them. The length is going to be this side here. So how many tiles are along that side? Should we count together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 7, and we don't know what the units are. This could be inches, meters, we don't know. So I'm just going to put units. 7 units, and you just put the units in later, which we'll do over here. All right, what's the width? The width is going to be this one. So how many blocks do you see up this way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's 5 units this way. All right, who remembers your multiplication table? Area is length, which is 7, times 5, which is the width. 7 times 5 is, shout it out, 35. Okay, and then if this was meters, then we would put meters squared, or feet, this would be feet squared. So I'm just going to put units, and then it'll be squared. Okay, and you'll see how this works once we get into it. But do you see how the number part works, the length times the width? Yeah, so this basically is 7, and there's 5. So this is 7 rows of 5, or 5 rows of 7. Either one works. So it's length times width. Okay. So let's try it for real. Here's a shape, and it has 6 centimeters here, 1.2 centimeters there. Okay, so we're going to write area. So I want to know how much space does it take up. Okay, is length times width. The length is 6, so we're going to say 6 centimeters times the width, or sometimes they'll call this the base and the height. Just know that it's one dimension times another dimension, and these two dimensions are perpendicular, right? Horizontal and then vertical. All right, so this is 1.2. I'll put it in parentheses so it's clear. Put this in parentheses too, okay? That we're multiplying these two numbers together. Okay, so my area is, what is 6 times 12? Anyone remember 6 times 12? Good, 72, good. Put the decimal point back in, so we're gonna go in one hop. It's this way. So 6 times 1.2 is 7.2. Centimeters times centimeters gives you centimeters, and we put a little 2 right there. And the 2 is higher, it's smaller than this 2. And that indicates that this is area, that little 2, because it means square centimeters. So if I were to read this, I'd say area is 7.2 square centimeters, or you could say 7.2 centimeters squared, either way. All right, when you are feeling good about that, give me a little smile so I can see you. I see a few students. Go, good, excellent. Okay.
Now, is your child overwhelmed and frustrated with learning decimals? If so, I think I can help. See, I teach math to kids in a way that flows naturally with how they learn, so they find it way easier and even have fun with it. Now, if your kids have struggled with decimals before, I'd like to invite you and your kids to join me for a free online class where they will learn more math just like they did in this video. You can register at no charge simply by going to getmath.net/class.